Hi friends, I'm here to present a seminar on the topic Heart in different group of vertebrates. Heart is a muscular pump that moves blood in constant circulation all over the body through an elaborate network of blood vessels. Heart of the vertebrates and molluscs are myogenic, whereas the insects, crustaceans, lemurs, etc. are neurogenic. There are two types heart based on its origin. The vertebrates, molluscs have myogenic heart, and insects, crustaceans, lemurs, etc. have neurogenic heart. Heart is a mesodermal derivative. Heart is a mesodermal derivative developed from the splanchnic mesoderm below the foregut. In cyclostomes, chondrichthyes, ostrichthyes, and amphibians, it appears first as longitudinal tube called endocardiac tube. The origin of the heart, we can see that as an endocardiac tube. In teleodes, amniotes, two endocardiac tubes are formed first and then they fuse to form a single secondary tube. As its own later gets on differentiated into four linear chambers by the formation of constrictions. That means first ഒരു ലോഞ്ചിറ്റ്യൂഡിനൽ എൻഡോകാർഡിയാക് ട്യൂബ് ഫോം ചെയ്യുന്നു. ദെൻ ടീലിയോഡ്സിലും ആംനിയോട്സിലും രണ്ട് എൻഡോകാർഡിയാക് ട്യൂബ്സ് ഫ്യൂസ് ചെയ്തിട്ട് ഒരു സെക്കൻഡറി ട്യൂബ് ഫോം ചെയ്യുന്നു. ദെൻ ഈ സെക്കൻഡറി ട്യൂബ്സ് ഫോർ ലീനിയർ ചാമ്പേഴ്സ് ആയിട്ട് മാറുന്നു. Adjacent chambers communicate with each other through the valvular openings. Adjacent chambers communicate ചെയ്യുന്നത് valvular openings വഴിയാണ്. The chambers from the behind forward sinus venosus, atrium, auricle, ventricle and conus arteriosus. This are ഫോം ചെയ്തിരിക്കുന്ന ചാമ്പേഴ്സ് സൈനസ് വീനോസസ്, ആട്രിയം, ഓറിക്കൽ ആൻഡ് വെൻട്രിക്കിൾ, കോണസ് ആർട്ടീരിയോസസ് അങ്ങനെ 4 ചാമ്പേഴ്സ് ആയിരിക്കും ഫോം ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ടാവുക. സൈനസ് വീനോസസ് റിസീവ്സ് പെയർഡ് ക്യുവേറിയൻ ഡെക്സ് ആൻഡ് ഹെപ്പാറ്റിക് വെയിൻസ്. ഹെപ്പാറ്റിക് വെയിൻസും ക്യുവേറിയൻ ഡെക്സും സൈനസ് വീനോസസിലോട്ടേക്ക് എത്തുന്നു. കോണസ് ആർട്ടീരിയോസസ് ലീഡ്സ് ടു ഫോർവേഡ് വെൻട്രൽ അയോട്ട. കോണസ് ആർട്ടീരിയോസിസ് അത് ലീഡ് ചെയ്യുന്നത് വെൻട്രൽ അയോട്ടയിലേക്കാണ്. സം കേസസ് ദ ബേസ് ഓഫ് ദ വെൻട്രൽ അയോട്ട ഡയലേറ്റ് ഫോം ബൾബസ് ആർട്ടീരിയോസിസ്. In amphibians, ventral aorta become the truncus arteriosus. Amphibians ventral aorta that will becomes truncus arteriosus. Development proceeds. Embryonic cardiac tube undergoes elongation and bending and get completely engrossed within the pericardium. This development proceeds ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ the whole heart will come bind inside the pericardium. Pericardium is the covering of the heart. As a result of this bending, the adult heart becomes S-shaped. Due to this bending, the adult heart becomes S-shaped. And truly formed heart, in the fully formed heart, ventricle has thick walls and it forms most effective chamber. Projecting into the lumen are the muscular columns called the columnae carneae. Less prominent muscular projection found in the inner auricular wall are called the musculi pectinate muscles. Otherwise, it is called as musculi pectinati, or otherwise we call it as pectinate muscles. Ventricular wall bears several muscular ridges, also called musculi papillaris. Ventricular wall several muscular ridges are there. We call it as musculi papillaris. Extending between them, there are edges of the auricular ventricular walls, tendinous cordus, called it chordae tendinae. Auricular ventricular walls in the edges, there are many extensions in the chordae tendinae. Let us discuss about the heart in shark or heart in the chondrichthyes or the heart in of the gill-bearing fishes always contains venous blood. So it describes it as venous heart. ഫിഷിൽ അതിൻ്റെ ഹാർട്ട് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് always contain venous blood. That means heart bears only impure blood. Venous blood is impure or deoxygenated blood. Among the fishes, the most primitive type of the heart is found in chondrichthyes. Here, the heart is mostly bilaterally symmetrical externally and has four chambers: sinus, venosus, auricle, ventricle, and conus. Of these, only auricle and ventricle are considered true chambers, and the others are regarded as accessory chambers. Heart of the fishes have four chambers. They are sinus venosus, auricle, ventricle, and conus. Of these, sinus venosus and conus are considered as accessory chambers, but the auricle and the ventricle is considered as true chambers. Chambers and others regarded as conus is provided with the longitudinal rows of pocket semilunar valves. Ventral aorta is not modified into truncus arteriosus. Let us see its picture. The heart of the constrictus. It have a conus, ventricle, atrium, and sinus venosus. There are sinoatrial valve, atrioventricular valve, and pocket valves for the communication between the chambers. And then let us discuss about the heart of the frog. It's a little bit long portion of our semester, but we have to complete this. Heart of the frog. A remarkable advancement in the amphibian's heart is the division of auricle into right and left chambers by the interauricular septum. Heart of the frog that is different from the others heart. It is only in the it is due to the presence of the interauricular septum that separate the left auricle and ventricle, left and right chambers. Let us see its picture. This picture have a right auricle and left auricle. It's an important peculiarity of frog's heart. This is typical trilocular heart found in and it have a typical trilocular heart. In adult, the region of the embryonic bulb's cordis gets differentiated into two parts. Conus arteriosus is part of the heart trunk, is part of the heart, and the truncus impar is shortened ventral aorta. Internally, a spiral wall divides conus into two chambers: pulmocutaneous chamber and cystocardiac carotid chamber. The truncus impar is divided into dorsal and ventral chambers by the septum principale. It has truncus impar, septum imbulvile, conus, ventricle, left auricle, and right auricle, sinus venosus. It's clear from this picture. Let's discuss about the heart of the calotes or heart of the reptiles. In reptiles, sinus venosus is highly reduced and internal lumen is divided into two by an incomplete partition. It have an incomplete partition between sinus internal lumen have an incomplete partition. That's the main peculiarity of heart of calotes. The interauricular septum is complete and the two auricles are open into ventricles separately. There is an incomplete ventricular septum, so the heart is completely four-chambered. This picture shows that left auricle, right auricle, and the incomplete ventricular septum that opens to ventricle. This septum divides the ventricular cavity into right and left halves and cavum venosum and cavum arteriosum respectively. However, in crocodile, interverticular partition is complete and so the heart is typically tetralocular. ഈ ആംഫീബിയൻസിൻ്റെ ഹാർട്ട് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ഇറ്റ് ഹാവ് ഇൻകംപ്ലീറ്റ് ventricular septum, but in case of crocodile it have a complete partition in its ventricle, hence it is four chambered. Then we can discuss about the heart of the apes and mammals together. heart of the pigeon and rabbit, we are taking it as example. In avian and mammalian heart, interauricular and intraventricular septums are complete. In apes and mammals, the peculiarity of the apes and mammals' heart is that it have a complete auricular and ventricular septum. So there is a complete separation of arterial and venous blood at all levels. Sinus venosus has become completely fused with the right auricle. Sinus venosus disappears because it is completely fused with the right auricle. That's why we can see only right auricle in the case of mammals and apes. So the precava and postcava open directly to right auricle. Precava and postcava, that means the vena cavas that opens to right auricle in mammals. Sinus venous venosus is reduced to a patch of Purkinje fibers or the sinoatrial node walls of the walls of the right atrium. In the mammals, the sinus venosus is reduced into Purkinje fibers or sinoatrial node that exist on the that persist or on the walls of the right atrium. So the interauricular septum has an opening in the embryo known as foramen ovule. There is an opening in the interauricular septum called foramen ovule in apes and mammals. It gets closed later on, leaving the depression of adult called the fossa ovalis, which is surrounded by an annular ovalis. That is shown in the figure. It have right systemic and duct, pulmonary ducts, and that is for to pump the blood to pulmonary or the lungs. How it have both mammals and apes have four chambers: right auricle, left ventricle. Four chambers, പിന്നെ precavas are the and precavas are the that opens to auricle, and the postcava that goes out of the precava and postcava that opens to atrium. From that, the blood pumps to ventricle and the ideal that means the blood circulation continues. The blood circulation in mammals is in the form, and the vena cava pumps blood to auricles, and this blood reaches the and from reaches the impure blood reaches the right auricle. That from that right auricle it will reaches right ventricle. From that right ventricle it will pumps to the lungs through the pulmonary artery, and it will come back to come back to heart through pulmonary vein, carries the pure blood. It's pure blood, and it will reach on the left ventricle. Then it pumps to left when the pure blood that reaches from lungs is to left auricle, and it will pumps to left ventricle. Then it will circulate all over the body through arteries. These are the main things, topics to discuss about the vertebrates heart. And thank you for listening.